Hello, my friends. This is Dr. Ginny Barrow. Welcome to Start the Day with Ginny. How can being consistent support you and your goals? I run into this often where somebody says to me, Ginny, I was making progress and then it didn't continue to happen. And my immediate question is, how consistent have you been? It's very easy to start. And the biggest and most prominent example is when we start going to the gym or we start working out or taking a walk. And then what happens is that slowly but surely we fall back into old habits and patterns and we drop off or fall off the wagon, as we say, and we stop doing it. And so, if that is you, consistency, I have found since I came to this country in 1983, has truly supported me in achieving my goals, in reaching those milestones. And now that I'm not only about achieving, but also being and living and exploring the art of fulfillment, not only of achievement, I have found that even being consistent with my daily rituals, my self care rituals, has truly supported my spiritual journey. In addition to supporting my career goals of supporting women and leaders to advance and grow without burning out. And so the question to you again is, how can being consistent with habits that support your growth and development help you? And so this is a question to explore. How am I being consistent in different areas of my life? At work, some of us are very structured. We like to follow the same routine. We like to get up at the same time, go to work in the same way, get our coffees or teas, and we kind of follow this structure. It supports us. I'm one of those people. I'm very structured. It gives me peace. It gives me harmony, the fact that I know what I'm supposed to be doing and I do it. But that's because that's part of my personality. Those are some of my human needs, such as certainty and structure. Some of us have one of the primary needs is uncertainty and variety. So for those of us who thrive on variety, the structure, the consistency may not work in the same way. And so what can you do if you're one of those people who thrives on variety? And so, what I would say to you is that you can create structure within variety. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but here's what I mean by that. If you don't like to do the same thing every day, so for example, if you find yourself that you don't want to go to the gym every single day at the same time because it would get too boring for you, or take that walk every single day at the same time, you can create variety within your week. So for me, for example, I go to the gym on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. When I have my son for the weekend, I skip Monday because he's with me on Monday morning and I need to take him to school. Therefore, I don't go to the gym on those Mondays. My point is that I create variety within my week that meet my needs at home, as well as my needs for uncertainty, because I do kind of get bored if I do the same thing all the time on the same days, right? Which is why some people like to take vacations to the same spot every year. And some people say, nope, I'm going to a new place every single time that I take a vacation. There is no right or wrong. There just is. So understanding who you are as a person is going to help you create the right structure for you. And so forget what I do, forget what anybody else does. What works for you? What structure, what routines, what habits, what patterns can support you in advancing and growing your career without burning out? So when it comes to your personal self-care, your professional self-care, what rituals can you implement throughout your week that will keep you energized so that by Friday you're not completely drained, your battery is completely not charged? What could that be? And if that is a walk, whenever you get that 10-minute break, then that's that walk when you get that 10-minute break throughout the week, throughout the day. So you don't have to keep that boring pattern that you will not do well with, for example. So that's one aspect, the physical part of it. For me, I meditate in the morning and at night. And I have changed how I meditate. So I recommend to my clients who are new to meditation, which harnesses and promotes mindfulness, being here now, where there are no problems, there is no anxiety because we're not thinking of the future or the past, that they do a guided meditation. So you go to YouTube and you search for guided meditation, and then you pick the time, 5, 10, 15 minutes. I am a transcendental meditator, so I do 20 minutes. I use a Muse app on my phone, and I do 20 minutes of meditation. For you, start something simple. It could be 5 minutes of a guided meditation, then increase it to 10 minutes. You can do it in the morning, you can do it at night to calm your mind. That's another practice and habit that you can incorporate into your week. That's the physical is movement. This is more of the spiritual, emotional, mental health meditation. What about for your career when it comes to growing and learning? And I'm a learner, so I'm always learning new stuff, whether it's listening to a podcast, reading a book, an article on the Wall Street Journal, or any other periodical that you read. When do you make time for that? That's also part of your self-care, part of your growth and development. So this video and what I'm trying to share with you today is primarily about create the structure and the patterns that are going to support you in going in the direction that you want to go, number one, and number two, feeling the way that you want to feel. At this stage in our career, I'm sure you know that we can get from point A to point B in many different ways. And at this stage in my life, at this age, in this chapter of my life, I'm choosing how I am getting there. And I am choosing the most rewarding and the way that feels the best for me as I go there. So if you choose to drive hard and not give yourself a break, that is your choice, of course. And I would recommend that in order for us to grow and advance and not burn out, that we bake in self-care as part of everything that we do, so that we don't have to worry about, oh, now that I'm burned out, I need time off to be able to recover. Instead, let's make recovery part of your every day/week. And it becomes a new lifestyle. And that's how we become fearless. That's how we grow exponentially. Because when we self-care, we are creative, we are resourceful. We are not locked into one way of thinking. We have a wider perspective and a more strategic view of our life and our career and our teams and organization. So when we self-care, believe it or not, you're actually giving yourself the best chance to advance and grow. That's it. That's the secret. And so when you sleep well, when you give yourself boundaries and you stick to those boundaries, one of the biggest myths that I would love to kind of squash right now is that we may think that by working 24/7, our companies would really see us as valuable resources. They can't get rid of us, and we are so important. And I get that. There's a sense of pride in showing up to work this way. And there's also a downside to that. The first downside is that we're role modeling for our teams how to burn out. And I'm sure that is not our intention to do it, right? To role model how to burn out. By setting healthy boundaries around the work, where if there is a project that needs to get done, yes, all hands on deck, right? We have to do whatever we have to do to get that project out the door. But that should not be the standard. In other words, there should be a healthy way to say, I am online from 8:30 until 6:30, and then after that, I will respond to your email the following business day. And you should be the first one to respect that. Because if you break your own rules, then all bets are off, right? If you are telling people, I'm going to be on vacation this week, and you're replying to emails while you're on vacation, what is going on? Did you not build a structure that to support you while you were away. That's number one. Number two, what is it about the work that you're doing that you're the only person who can come in and provide some insight while you're gone, right? Like if you're the only person who can answer questions while you're gone, there's something wrong. And so if you don't have a backup, somebody who can support you when you're not in the office, which by the way, at any point, one of us can get sick and we may not be in the office. So it's actually a risk to not have somebody who could be our backup. That's what I want to also get across to you. And if you're on vacation and you have to reply to emails, ask yourself, am I replying because I want to feel significant? I know this is a tough one to swallow. Are we answering because we want to feel significant? Or are we answering because we know that if we don't, nobody else will answer and we're going to drop the ball? In which case, that means we really have to work on that structure so that when you are away, someone can pitch in and help until you get back. This is a very crunchy aspect of our business today because I know that we are spread thin. Our organizations, we are low on resources, and we have one person doing the job of 2 or 3 people, which could be very challenging. I get it. And that's when we need to raise our hand to say, we need to hire resources. And I know resources are very tight right now, and it's difficult to find great talent. I have a client who's been searching for someone for months, and they're not even getting resumes. This is how tight the labor market is right now. I get that. And we can't give up. We have to keep looking because I know that there's people out there who are qualified, looking for for employment, looking for someone to work for like you. And so we need to keep looking for them and not give up. But when we raise our hand and say we need resources, we're giving our team, we're setting them up for success, right? Including ourselves. And so I've said a lot of things in this video. And what I want to leave you with is this. What can you create in your life to build a structure that will give you consistency, the patterns, the habits that are going to support you in your professional career goals and your personal goals? So you can work hard, you can deliver value, and you can also self-care and enjoy your life. Because at the end of the day, my friends, I know this is coming probably from a place of, I've been around the block a couple of times. At the end of the day, what matters most is, as my friend Victoria says, what matters most is how you feel. If you feel like you are adding value to your environment and you feel good as a person and as the person you are constantly becoming, that's really what matters. And so let's try to look at our lives holistically from a professional perspective and from a personal perspective, and to be able to bring those two together and find that sweet spot where we can both thrive in our careers and thrive in our personal lives without feeling like we have to be overwhelmed by all of it. It is creating that balance between those two worlds that creates the harmony in our lives that makes us feel centered and makes us feel whole. And all of it from a place of peace and harmony, not from a place of, I gotta get this done, right? So let's be more mindful about how we're showing up. Let's be self-aware about how we show up at work and the little bad habits that we've created over the years that have made us successful. But at this stage in our career, it's no longer working, right? We've already proven ourselves. We don't need to keep doing that anymore. And let's focus on how can I take care of myself so that I can role model it for my team and they can see what it looks like to create healthy boundaries and stick to them. And so that you can feel good and show up to work replenished, restored, not running on fumes. So I hope this is helpful to you. If it is, leave me a comment, and you can always connect with me at callwithginny.com. And to learn more about our programs, the free trainings that we have going on, and to join our community at Executive Bound, you can go to executivebound.com/events. I'll see you soon. Live with purpose, live with joy. Bye.